The Albert Ostman story is a crazy one. Think Harry and the Hendersons, but inverted. This week on Dark Docent, I bring James the case of Albert Ostman, the man who was kidnapped by Bigfoot. July 1924, just outside Lund, BC. Albert Ostman was a journeyman laborer. He did everything from odd jobs to construction to lumber work. But his true passion is what he came all the way to British Columbia from Sweden to find. That was the gold. Albert Ostman considered himself a prospector, and after working for a full year in Bowser, BC on Vancouver Island, he decided to take a 3-week vacation, hiking 25 miles into the mountains looking for lost gold mines. It was a different time. Albert had heard many stories of lost gold mines in British Columbia, particularly one of an old drunk who would be up in the mountains for days and then come down with bags of gold, only to waste it all on the drink. Then he would simply go back up into the mountains and come back with more. Until one day he never returned. Now, many people thought he could have simply died of exposure, could have fallen off of a great height. There are several mountains and cliffs in the area, or he could have been eaten by a predator, bears, cougars. However, the Native Americans of the area had a different theory. They thought the man was taken. For where this man tread was the territory of the Sasquatch. Now, Albert's native guide told him this story, but Albert was very dismissive of the man's stories. The man simply responded, "There may not be many, but they still exist." With that, Albert went up into the mountains. Every day he'd hike miles and miles until he could find spring water by digging down, and then he would set up camp for the night. Until one day he found the perfect spot. Enough trees for shelter and enough flat ground to set up a huge camp for himself. But after the first night, he noticed something strange. All of his things had been rummaged about, moved around, certain preservatives taken. He thought it was just a porcupine. He was actually quite excited to make some, quote, porky stew. He loaded his rifle and awaited the porcupine to return. He also set some of his preservatives and bags a little higher and harder to get to, so the little porcupine could not reach it. Over the next day, he found his things weren't just rummaged about, but thrown all about his camp. He even found his bag, which was hung up on a branch, completely tipped over with everything poured out and several of his preservatives missing. After a few more days of this, Albert assumed the worst. He thought someone maybe had followed him out and was going to kill him once he found the gold. Albert wasn't taking any chances. He packed his rifle and knife in his sleeping bag with him. Unfortunately, Albert dozed off. Next thing he knew, he was being picked up.